Angela here. So excited for you to be here. If you are new to the channel, hello. This is my brand new channel, Create, Heal, Shine, where we talk about all things therapy, counseling, coaching, life skills, relationships, boundaries. Oh man, the list goes on. Stress, anxiety, chronic illness. We talk about everything. But this week we are doing the last chapter in the book, It's Never Too Late to Begin Again by Julia Cameron. This is the 12th week. We're doing a book study, and this is week 12, and we are finished the book. So, wow, this is like a mega wrap up. So I just want you to know that we are going to be starting something else soon, and that I just love how cohesive this whole book is. It's been really nice. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on everything. How you've enjoyed the book, if you ended up buying the book or you just listened along. So how the book works, in case you're new, you didn't miss anything. You can just start on week 1, go to week 1 video. There's a playlist called Journal Along on Book Club. And you can start at week 1 and do it along with me at your own pace. So if it takes you 15 weeks to do the 12 weeks or even longer, it doesn't matter. It's not about being perfect. It's just about learning and tuning into your own capacity and awareness more. And the chapters all evolve about discovering creativity and meaning in midlife. So this is for midlife women. Or you could be retired or just having a transition in your life. Maybe you've divorced and you're starting over. Maybe your children have grown up and moved away. Maybe everything is great in midlife and you just want more creative spark. Whatever it is for you, I feel like this book is really enlightening. So I've had a great experience with it. So please share and tell me how you've enjoyed it. So let's get started. First of all, this last chapter 12 will be our last 4 years of life. So I'm 49. Pardon my math. So I'm doing 46, 47, 48, 49. Because each chapter we've done 4 years. Well, you divide the chapters up by 12 of your age. And that is the age that you answer all the questions. Well, you answer all the questions now, but then there's a section that you write in your journal about during that time of your age. So you can have some enlightening moments and maybe understand things that have come and happened from your childhood or teenagehood or 20s, 30s, whatever that is, has happened that has shaped who you are and where you're at right now. So week 12, if you're following along, reigniting a sense of faith. So interesting. So what I usually do is I read a bit from the book and then just highlighted stuff that I like and enjoyed that was powerful. And then we do some journaling exercises together. I will give you the journal prompts and you can do them on your own time. If you don't have the book, that way you can still follow along. And I did get new glasses. They're not crooked. They're nice and firm. So anyway, so much better. I can see so much better. And they're progressives. Apparently I've graduated into the progressive realm. So I actually don't have to take them on and off, which is so annoying when I'm doing them. I watch myself in the video. I'm like, oh, I can't watch myself anymore, taking them on and off. But anyway, all right, here we go. This week, you will focus on celebrating the now. In the moment, you are safe. In the moment, you are guided. You will finish your memoir this week and become current with your current self. Having recovered the terrain of your life, you are able to be present and aware of today. You will gain perspective and appreciation for the path you have followed. Do you sense that you have been led looking back at your life now? Do you have a sense of what you would like to do next? Inklings of what would bring you happiness? Do you find that you appreciate yourself and your own unique journey more than you thought you did? Do you feel a renewed sense of purpose? Do you suspect that you have been more aware of your purpose all along than you might have assumed? Maybe, maybe not. The past and present you meet in the now, bringing you strength and wholeness. So chapter 1 starts with art as alchemy. And she talks about, in the moment of creation, we are ageless. We feel both young at heart and old and wise. Young at heart and old and wise. Artists work until the end. My photographer friend Robert said to me yesterday, yes, they do. This is why retirement from one career, even if it's a major career, is not by any means the end, because the act of creating something, anything, renders us timeless. Because the act of creation is led by that inner youthful part of ourselves that we continually reinvent through our art. So she uses some people as an example, and she says, Carla retired from a career as an optometrist with no real thought about what to do next, but plenty of energy that she needed to channel into something. Carla now runs a small gourmet bakery. Her offerings are delicious as well as beautiful to behold. When she's baking, she feels timeless. She has a child's delight and an elder's discernment. I love to bake, said Carla. Nothing makes me happier. Before owning the bakery, I had a period where I was so bored and depressed I needed to find something that I loved, but I didn't know how to find it. I'm so happy I took all those artist dates that eventually led me to memories and passions that would bring me fresh life now. For me, baking is that fresh life. So, artist dates she refers to as just little outings for yourself that you go and do on your own, and you are by yourself and you make a specific time in your planner that you're going to go and do these things. So that could be anything like going to a bakery or going to an art gallery or going to a bookstore, having coffee by yourself, just going to a pet store, going for a hike, kayaking, anything, whatever you're interested in, researching, going to a painting class. It can be anything that you want. So as we come to know and appreciate ourselves, we have more to share. And with more to share, we find our connections with others are deeper and more abundant. So I love this because I totally believe that is true, that the more we have to share, and that's something that I learned. I wonder do I have that book here? No, I don't. I'm reading this really good other book too that's called by Gladys McGarry, and she's a 103-year-old woman who used to be a doctor. And she just talks about giving from, and not having that kind of mentality of lack where you're worried you're going to run out, or you can't share, or you can't be generous with people, or you can't be loving and using your time even as giving. And so when this said we appreciate ourselves more, we have more to share and more to give, I feel that is true. And as we get older, we feel like sometimes, it depends where you're at, but feels like we have so much abundance around us. It's time to really share our knowledge and our love and our things and ourselves with other people, and so that they can have a more enjoyable life too. Okay, so the next thing she says is the youthful part of ourselves is alive and well, eager and curious. And this is the part of us that creates and cherishes our golden memories. Cherishing our stories and acting on our dreams, we recreate ourselves today. As we come to accept our age, we must also accept what the youthful part of us would like to do next. Perhaps it's adopting a new health ritual, a baking habit, both, buying a new tray of watercolors, forging a new friendship, whatever you're intrigued by. You must pursue it. Creativity should feel easy, not difficult. Our inner youngster will lead us if we listen. So the first task we're going to do in our journals is called the Fountain of Youth. And she says, we all have experienced the sensation of our age slipping away. Try to recall 10 activities that have made you feel youthful and pick one and do it. So I was going to share a couple of mine that I was thinking of. For some reason, when I ride a pedal bike, I feel youthful, and my stuff happens to be like mostly outdoor stuff. Same with like kayaking or hiking. But I also feel youthful when I'm doing things like painting or drawing or things like that. So I'm going to pick one of those things this week and do it. Maybe a few if I can. There's just so many things that make me feel youthful that I'd love to do. Like I love to do sewing too. I don't know if it makes me feel youthful, but it depends what I'm making. If it's clothes, I feel youthful. If it's like a quilt, I don't feel youthful. I don't know why. But anyway, that's your task. So you're going to write number 1 to 10 in your journal, and you're going to write, I feel youthful when blank. I feel youthful when blank 10 times, and you're going to fill that in. And for your memoir, for me, this is age 46 to 49. I'm going to write in my journal, and you're going to do whatever your age is for yourself, these 10 journal prompts. So feel free to pause this at any time if you need to, if you don't have the book and you want to fill this in for yourself, because we're completing the memoir this week, and you'll have a full 12 weeks of things to look back on that is going to be really interesting by age if you followed along all the way. If you didn't, that's okay. As long as, even if you just do the reading, it probably will work and spark some ideas and be really enlightening. So if you're doing the age group memoir, it is describe your major relationships during this period. Where did you live? Do you still live there? What were the major changes during this period? Describe a time where you felt guided during this period. Looking back across your memoir, do you see the hand of guidance in your life? Do you have a sense of purpose or calling now, looking fully at your life? What is one thing you saw in your memoir that you can now appreciate about yourself? What patterns do you see that are related to your creativity when you look back on your life? What other memories feel significant to you from this time, and what would you like to do next? Those are the 10 journal prompts for your age. So if you're creating your little memoir and jotting all these things down, it's kind of like just a compiled little journal thing idea for yourself that you can look back on and reread when you need inspiration or a creative spark or something like that. So it's pretty cool when I look back on what I wrote so far, because it feels like we started this book so long ago, but it hasn't actually taken that long to do it. I think I've spread it over maybe 15 weeks. I'm not sure. I have to look, but I haven't done it perfect by any means. And not every day did I do my morning pages. Not every day was I able to go for a walk. I mean, I had appointments. I had so many things. I had a big trip down to Vancouver, which was for a week where I couldn't do some of the things because I was having surgery. So just do what you can. A life of no regrets. There you go. In writing our life story, we come into contact with our inner wisdom. Many times we lay to rest the regrets of the past. Writing, if only I had blank. How often do you say that to yourself? If only I had. If only I had. I know how many things I can say that if I would have finished those, where I would be now. I feel so far behind where I should be. All of those thoughts. They often reveal the wisdom in the path we did take. Dr. Carl Jung believed that every life contained the tracery of destiny. Writing our story, our destiny becomes clear to us. We see the many choices we made and we appreciate their meaning. Working through our memoir helps us to make peace with ourselves. Sometimes we see the wisdom in the course that we have taken. Other times we encounter a buried dream that we now have the courage to pursue. Often something was assumed was a regret reveals itself as destiny as we revisit in our memoir. So have you encountered a dream along the way? I'd love to hear. Please leave me a comment about if there was something that you always wanted to do that you never did, that this is uncovered, or you can see little patterns and repetitive patterns in your life as you've went, or where maybe a big event has drastically changed the course of your life. I mean, we can all look, I think, at where big, huge events have changed the course and we have fallen off track of where we were wanting to go. And now is possibly the time that we could pick one of those things up that really has sitting on your mind all the time that you want to pursue, and take advantage of the time that you have now to do that thing. Because if that's still on your heart, that means that you need to do it. But there's so many things that multi-passionate people want to do. So it's all about looking back at maybe the big overview of where your life fell off the rails or took a big twist or changed direction, and what you want to pursue now as a dream. Many of us enter retirement disappointed in ourselves. During our work life, we may have fulfilled the goals and dreams of others while ignoring our own. Isn't that the truth? Free at last to pursue our own agenda, we find that we need to focus squarely on our own dreams so that we have no life of regret. And that's what I mean by picking one thing to start, not getting overwhelmed with so many things that you want to pick up where you left off, but looking back at what do you really want to do? Like, I'm sure you saw things that would be nice to do, but what do you really want to do? In recovering from our creative blocks, it's necessary to go gently and slowly. We are aiming to heal ancient wounds, not create new ones. I love that. I love that. We are aiming to heal ancient wounds, not create new ones. So we're not out to have a whole bunch of ideas that we wanted to do that we just couldn't fulfill, and we're beating ourselves up about how we didn't do all these things. But it's now about, now is the actual time in your destiny that this is the time when you were supposed to do it. Those things all happened in that time frame to put you where you are now. And maybe now is the opportunity to start doing one thing, even if it's a baby step. We went through a chapter where it was all on taking baby steps of just little things to get started with. And here, she goes on to talk about change for good. So this is where you're going to pick up your journal again. And at this point in the course, you may sense that you would like to make an area of change that feels intimidating for you. Take your pen to the paper and write about a time when change appeared to be negative, but in hindsight, it was positive. Remembering this time, allow yourself to imagine that a current change you may be resisting may also be for the best. What silver lining could exist in changing your current situation? So it's kind of a two-question thing. You're taking pen to paper about writing about a time that change appeared to be negative, but in hindsight it was positive. And then you're talking about what silver lining could have existed in changing your current situation. And there's so many things that I can think about that appeared to be negative and in hindsight were positive. But there's always going to be things within humans that feel negative that still feel negative. So don't get upset with yourself if you can't find a positive about something, because it's difficult and it's a process. So just write in your journal and see what you come up with. This is a really interesting one. So the magic of today. This is actually kind of, do you feel how it's like pulling everything together? All of our weeks is coming together. And it's all about really just thinking about your calling and your purpose and where you are inspired and motivated, and learning that self-awareness more. And so that once you do start recognizing and you're more self-aware of what's going on in your surroundings and how things are happening and what people are saying and how you're thinking, you can choose to see it how you want to see it, believe what you want to believe, create what you want to create, live your purpose and best life, whatever that is for you. It doesn't have to be that you're so rich you're taking trips around the world. It's just you're rich just where you are. You're rich with where you are. If you're watching this video, you are rich in my realm, because there's so many people who don't even have the opportunity to watch videos and have the ability to buy books and go through book studies with communities. Like, we are rich. We are rich, we are lucky, and we need to recognize that. We need to appreciate that, those small little granular things, right? Life is lived one day at a time, but many of us find ourselves straying out of the day at hand into the past or the future. The past is finished and the future is not here yet. Only the day that we are in can be lived. And this is so key, because as a counselor, almost 100% of people's problems that they have come to me with is that they're living either in the past and the future. And we all do that. And it's all about coming back into the now, into the right now. This is the only day that we actually can be lived. And trust me, I know, if you've watched any of my health videos, I'm just so grateful to be here right now talking to you. And I'm so grateful you're here listening to me. I mean, I'm so thankful. Each day, I just think that's so important. Only the day that we are in can be lived. Each day well lived is a thing of beauty, giving us a more satisfying past and a more promising future. As I pray each day for knowledge of God's will for me, I am led to the next right action. Whether our daily habit is asking for God's will or simply writing in our morning pages to see what they will reveal, there's always some small something we can do to make our present productive. As we focus on the now, we are rewarded by a sense of well-being. Our daily life becomes fulfilling. And that's what I mean, is just appreciating every little moment, having your morning coffee or tea, sitting there reading this book, listening to people that you love, interacting with your family and friends. Like, all of that stuff is so fulfilling to me. And hopefully you don't have to go through anything tragic and life-altering to feel that way. But sometimes we do. Sometimes we have to hit a certain place in our life to start being so self-aware that we can recognize how much we actually have. In that other book that I was sharing with you about the 103-year-old lady, there was a part that just got me about this little girl. I can't remember if it was her or her sister, but she went to school and she had her brand new little ballet shoes on or something. And she ran into another little girl with holes in her shoes. And she gave that little girl her brand new shoes at just a young age, and came home and her mom was like, "Where are your shoes? Where are your shoes? I just bought those for you. They're brand new." And she goes, "Mary or such and such needed them more than me." And that's how she learned to give love and be generous. And her mom thought that was wonderful that she did that. And I just love that little story about gratitude and life and how much we have. And that made me really just think of how much I actually have. So I love that book. Our work lives depended on us paying attention to the present, to the agendas and schedules of the moment. Freed from the harness of such a life, we may find ourselves frightening and adrift. We need to anchor ourselves more times in the present day. Every time we write in our morning pages, we're anchoring ourselves into that moment. Sometimes she talks about how morning pages become very addictive, and you can become hooked on processing your lives just as they are right now, right here and now. I usually don't read too many examples because she uses a lot of people in her stories, but this one I loved. Ray started writing morning pages reluctantly. She was certain the pages would lead her to divorce. She had a nagging sense that her marriage was failing, and she constantly imagined a dark and dismal future. Writing the pages, she found herself pulled quickly into the present, where she discovered, to her sense of surprise and responsibility for her troubled marriage. "I wish my husband would be more open with me," she wrote. I think I need to be more open with my husband. She turned things around. She reframed things. She found herself to start being happier and more fulfilled in life, enjoying the present. And in the end, she says, I didn't need to make a huge change, all dramatic and destructive. I just needed to sort out some complex feelings that in the end weren't as complex as I thought they were. And she kept writing and writing, and the pages were like a good marriage counselor, and I thought that was really cool. They kept me from making a terrible mistake. For me, divorce was not the answer. So I love that, because I always refer people to start journaling when they're struggling with things, because it's such an amazing way to get things out on paper. And how simple that advice sounds, but when clarity comes from within us, it's really profound. Because when someone else tells you what to do, it's not usually wanted advice from family or friend or something. And that's sometimes why people do seek mental health counseling or professional counseling in some form, to have a neutral party. But taking advice from the outside is only a fraction as powerful, even if it's the same advice. So helping people figure out to listen to their own guidance, that is what's so powerful. Helping people to figure out how to reframe their thoughts and think about things in a different way can give people totally different answers. Focusing on the present day, we see that our lives are still fascinating, our insights profound. Some of us think the most interesting years of our life are behind us, but focusing on the present day, we see that our lives are still fascinating. I just love that whole statement. So we're going to get to another journaling task, but she says something really important here. The magic of staying in the day is only because so much can only happen in a day. And when we accept and accomplish what the day offers, we find before we know it, we have moved further than we might have ever imagined. I just realized I had my crappy camera on, so sorry. Hopefully this one is a little bit better. I just added my new webcam. I don't think anybody cares, honestly. It's all about the book. So, task just for today. Staying in the present day is often easier said than done, but when we can successfully focus on the moment at hand, there's magic to be found. Often we jump backwards in the past or forward in the future because we feel like it's too late or it's too early to begin. We assume the next step is too large or has passed us by. When we focus our attention on the time we actually have available to us, we see the possibility of what we can accomplish just for today. And I thought that was interesting too, because I was just talking to somebody today and they're like, you know what, Ange, you're not quite there yet with my health to doing something. And you have lots of time. And I thought, I'm the best judge of where I'm at in my health. I'm the best judge, just like you are the best judge of yourself. There's no one that knows you better than that. And so I don't want to waste another year thinking about a certain thing. I want to continue on. Like when I feel like I want to do something, I want to try and do it. So I love this task. It's numbering 1 to 5, and it's just for today, I can. Just for today, I can. And you answer that question 5 times. Just for today, I can. See what you come up with. So for me, just for today, I can think past, or I can think way sooner than a year away. I can think about tomorrow. I can live for today, but I'm going to think about what I want to do for tomorrow, because I'm not guaranteed that year. And I don't want to just sit around and wait and see about things. I want to actually do things, even if they're small things, to get back to what I was doing or get back to normal life or what was normal for me. But yeah, so anyway, I like this one. So just for today, I can fill that in. The next topic she talks about is not being alone and really focusing on other people, and she's talking about people from the past and your like generational and things like that. It's really interesting part of the chapter. So I'm not going to get into all that part, but in the end, it's called Reborn. And I just love this. It says here at the end of the book, it is my hope that in finishing the work, you have found yourself to be larger and more colorful than you have imagined. I hope you have reconnected to your own story and come to appreciate all that your unique journey has to offer those you may touch. I hope that you have found an inner strength and a source of energy that will propel you forward into your second act of life. I urge you as you move forward to continue doing morning pages, artist dates, and walks. These tools ensure future creativity. Using these tools, you will continually find the answer to what shall I do now? It'll be simple, profound, and doable. I love that. This is so cool. What a great ending to the book. She says, our children and grandchildren, friends and colleagues all benefit from our conviction. As they see us forging new and more vibrant lives, they too are often inspired to pick up the tools themselves. We can lead by example. Our actions that can encourage those around us, inspire other people, dare to dream. We are all creative, every single one of us. So your very last task in your memoir, in your journal, is called a wish list. A final parting tool, which is one of my very favorites, the simple but potent wish list. Number 1 to 20 fill in your blanks in your journal. I wish, and you're going to do that 20 times. Wishes range from petty to profound and often fall well within our range of possibilities. So what do you wish? So what do you wish? I've so enjoyed this book club with you guys. I feel like it has really been so enlightening, and especially neat when I look back into my journal at what things I wrote, especially about what age group I was in, what age frame I should say I was in during each chapter. That's really enlightening, and I just thought this is so cool. So I hope that you enjoyed this book club. I felt that it's so full of highlighting and notes. That's what I do. Don't be mad at me. Don't hate me for that if you like to keep your books perfect. But I like to keep my other kind of style of books, but my self-help books and things like that, I like to write in fiction. I don't write in fiction. Anyway, I had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a fantastic book. I'm going to start thinking about here. I have been thinking, but I'm going to get more clear on which book we're going to start next. Have some new video ideas for you guys and some really awesome topics I want to discuss. Some really neat other video ideas that I have for this channel. So I hope you'll enjoy everything that is coming to you soon. If you're watching this video from Buckridge Homestead, that's my personal page where I share recipes and my health journey and different things like that. But if you're on Create, Heal, Shine, that's where we're going to do the work. We're going to be doing the inner work. We're going to be continuing on learning and developing and just being able to manage our emotions better. So many things. I can't wait to share what's coming up. I have so many ideas and something really big and exciting in the works, but it's not quite ready to share about it yet. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I've had so much fun with you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye, friends.